I have a confession to make. I used to hate Sony cameras. Not because of the color science or the menu system or anything that had to do with the actual cameras themselves. It was more about the marketing and hype surrounding them. To me, the cameras always felt overpriced and under-spec'd compared to the competition, yet everyone I knew seemed to have a Sony camera. And if you looked online, they were unanimously held as the gold standard.
I use Sony A1.
I too am filming on the Sony A1.
Sony FX6,
Sony FX3,
Sony A7S III.
I was what the French would refer to as a salty little bitch. Now, I don't know if it's because the Sony hype has finally died down or that I'm just no longer full of teen angst, but lately I've been warming up to the idea of owning a Sony camera myself. I had borrowed a friend's FX30 a few months back for a little skit that I did that no one watched, and I found the experience streamlined and refined. So when I found a used FX30 for under $1,300, I decided to finally take the plunge. And after just a few months of use, I can honestly say that this may have just jumped to the top of my recommendation list for professional video cameras. And it's not because I think the camera is amazing, because honestly, it's not. If you look strictly at the spec sheet, nothing stands out as overly impressive. But what makes this camera special is that it's the only camera in its price range that has no obvious flaws. It's a camera that does every single thing well and refuses to get in your way. Now, if you need a highly specialized tool, like something with internal RAW or a global shutter, or a documentary style camera that can essentially see in the dark, then do not get this camera. There are plenty of specialized cameras out there that can do exactly what you want. I mean, they're going to be far more expensive, but they do exist for you. But if you want a camera that is a true jack of all trades, master of none, at a relatively inexpensive price point, then I would 100% recommend the Sony FX30. Because I truly feel that with the FX30, the only limitation is you. In fact, I'm planning on shooting a short film towards the end of the year just to Hello?
What do you think you're doing?
I was just trying to inspire confidence by personalizing my...
Nobody cares about your short film. Nobody cares about you.
I know, but...
Just read off the spec sheet and sell the camera. Make it sexy and make it cool. You got that?
Okay. So to those of you who find this camera uninspiring because its spec sheet is completely average in pretty much every single way, to you I say, who says that mediocrity can't be sexy? A hot body. The FX30 comes in a tight little package designed purely for video. So you're not going to find an EVF or a mechanical shutter on this camera. But what you will find are thoughtfully placed buttons, multiple tally lights, and a fan that ensures reliability in any shooting scenario. No overheating nonsense to be found in this camera. Ah, a sexy sensor. Now, some of you size queens may be quick to point out that the FX30 comes equipped with the Super 35 size sensor instead of the massive full-frame sensor some of you yearn for. But allow me to remind everyone that the most expensive camera you can currently get on the market, the Alexa 35, is also equipped with a Super 35 size sensor. And I can assure you, if it's big enough for Hollywood, it's more than large enough for the likes of you. Let's talk about specs. Now, as far as frame rates go, this camera is capable of a cropless 60 frames per second for buttery, smooth, slow motion. It can also do 120 frames per second, but that comes with a crop and noticeably worse looking footage, but it is there for you if you need it. When it comes to dynamic range, this camera has a solid 14.6 stops of total dynamic range and a decent 11.3 stops at a signal to noise ratio of 2. The sensor readout speed comes in at 15.9 milliseconds, so rolling shutter artifacts should only be noticeable in the most extreme circumstances. Why don't you watch my short films? This camera's got the best autofocus I've ever used. Is it because I'm ugly? And its downsampled 6K sensor does a decent job when it comes to moire. Is it because I have weird nipples? It definitely does a better job of handling moire than my S5 2X. Then I shall obscure my face and rid myself of these cursed nipples. The biggest downside of the FX30 is undoubtedly its low light performance. And while I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's bad in low light, it simply can't compete with a full frame camera when it comes to low light performance. Now luckily, if you're at risk of underexposing your image at the native ISO of 800, it comes equipped with a second base ISO of 2500 to help preserve shadow detail at the expense of some dynamic range. Overall, this camera really is fantastic value. And honestly, it may not be an FX3, but Super 35 is enough for me. Hated on by all these synthesized queens, but it's all I can afford till someone sponsors me. Don't wait for Sony to give us something new. Unleash your vision, something pure and true. No, we won't watch it. Might just watch camera reviews, but with the FX30, the only limitation is you. It's not the camera. It's not the algorithm. It's not the audience. It's you. To you I say, who says it? But let's do it again, except better. No overheating nonsense to be found in this camera. I got scared.
Just read off the spec sheet and sell the camera. Make it sexy.
That's terrible. You sounded like you were trying to remember your lines, probably because you were trying to remember your lines. Hey.
Can you actually see?
I'm pretty sure I can see me. I don't care. I don't.
You can't
care.
edit it?
Nah.
Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Farewell, friends.